yourselves at all times, all right?
Is on, scheduled for 12, and an impression of the Union Jack on the scissor age, competing in his 58, the sole loss on his record.
He's sitting, waiting. The Groves are starting.
Since that this type of territory, the consensus to the hands of the St. George Groves to dump Carl Froch onto the seat.
Has started fairly well. Things is going.
No rehydration clause. That reporter Gabriel Clark at superior strength big. Bank just a little bit clumsy on that attempted right cross. First up close clip. Commentary position as to who would be the rings. They'd turn this into a thing. Chris Eubank at this level, but at this type of tempo, at this type of most significant factor, he's backing off.
Tough there, Roll, because he might have just got caught in with the shot narrowly, but he hasn't done that. Maybe
counter left from Groves after the attempted lead left hook from Eubank. Two men flay. Test of strength through round two. But as much as we've seen him in this contest, sprung back up, lead left, end-time shots, dominant part of his arsenal. Groves tucking up a lead from Eubank to this point.
Yeah, to Groves, but both worker his way out to Groves into that corner.
Well, Eubank's corner, should that have been? He rushed in, was called in the sole loss on Chris Eubank Jr.'s record. He take on his record against Billy Joe, half of the fight, allowing, that's a good left hook to the body, then right hook over the top, and now it's a firefight. Big left hook landed by Eubank for the fences, and Groves.
Good left hook and a good right hand.
On tenterhooks, power to end it with one on his professional ledger. We so often characterise it much to this point in the contest, but he said he's capable. Chris Eubank remaining concentrated. Shot salvo from Groves, further damage to that eye.
Groves with that jab. He knows he's got to get close up to jab. He's just too slow, and he's not doing it at the moment. Better round again, I think.
WBA Super Champ.
Looks a nasty cut as well, Ronald. So that's from the cut.
Trying a better than did Chris Eubank Jr., but he only cut as many predicted it would, particularly those who was going to come out on top. Two-weight world champion. Eubank trying to get to work ring. As much discussed spars.
See the attacks coming. Eubank has got to quicken the feet up, but he's waiting far too long, and he's getting caught as he's forward. Groves is being able to see these attacks coming, and for me, I think
Eubank almost following his man. Excellent ring generalship being demonstrated.
Probably Chris Eubank sing.
There's a lead left hook again, and Eubank for right cross, but Groves intelligently ties his man up and walks him away from the as Eubank's hand speed is. His feet sometimes don't follow him, and he gets in space. Good right from Chris Eubank Jr. by some distance. On the follow-up, so does the right hand. He bulldozed his man back.
Knows he's got to get up to his man. Waiting a little bit too long, and the waiting Junior close that gap. That's his problem. Look every time. Got to get close.
But that must be a complete faith in his corner. Right hand wasn't too far away, but Groves' front hand. These shots straying around the back of it's total responsibility, if you're to believe the public pronouncements. But he's going to have to put complete trust and faith in his corner now. The eye will hold up, and that he can concentrate on fighting.
Not really.
He's got that right hand cocked. He fired it once again. Eubank on the inside, and again he's looking to go to work with that vaunted uppercut. Hasn't got a consistent foothold in this. And remember, he was saying, George, that the defeats against Carl Froch have taken something away from his spirit and his ability. Now he's trying to wage war at close range once again, getting to work with his free right hand. The physical strength of Groves,
just keeping him at this
side. Remember, the winner of this contest will face the winner of the week semi-final in Nuremberg, as Callum Smith will take on Jürgen Bremer, the former long-time WBA light heavyweight champion. Close and personal with Groves once again. Groves tucking up tightly.
The gap down when he can't. Look there, hard left hook.
Be easier work than his two contests against Carl Froch of centre ring. He said a contest here against Chris Eubank Jr. would be against Carl Froch. Against Badu Jatha, Finn victory. Oban amateur rival James DeGale throwing fewer punches, but his accuracy from the reigning WBA Super Champion. Well, Eubank again trying to Bramall Lane last summer. winning that with a split decision loss. When he said he got his tactics wrong, Eubank lunges in with another hook. The head's coming down. Stoppage at this type of tempo. Eubank got through with a good hand, but at this type of tempo, one suspects that George bounds. Can Eubank do anything to change it? He's trying to do so now.
It's a work from Eubank there. Just after the contest, it's maintained that.
Second half of the contest. Can he get past that lead left actively? And again, prevents Eubank.
Face.
Launching in with another lead left hand, tapping the ribcage with his free right hand. That one through. George short with boxes. He's waving his man, engaging. He's paid to quicken the tempo. Can he test as good as his word? He's controlling.
Eubank Jr. knows he's got to recover. It's the way he's doing it, and he's just doing it too wild. He's wide. The quality's not quite there. He's nullifying his own work a lot of the time.
Always on the verge of leaking once again. Another big flank from Eubank, and he flashes a right grin through his gum shield. Eubank trying to bob and
Junior not anything, is he, Chris Eubank Jr., as I say that. Left up that one.
The fact that he's able to throw George Groves, but it was most certainly a scoring with a big left hook that caught George Groves. And then Eubank is caught, and now this fire.
Both boxers really going for it. Tremendous.
Of that round, and Eubank now looking to quicken the tempo with more consistency, chasing after his man with the type of intensity we thought would.
George Groves, we're just seeing signs now that Eubank, maybe George is where you just take your foot off the gas, but to get closer to Groves.
That's the view that I share. George Groves said all of the. He's got a position on his resume, so but Eubank launching forward with another marauding at tipping Eubank at bay. The 1-2 misses. Eubank now up close once again, but the work is smothered up close range. Caught square. Is Eubank straight.
He's hitting and moving back and tying him up on the inside. It's difficult to land a clean shot.
Stern admonishment. What a
get on his bike and get the hook. He actually let him.
Well, he may be entering the stage now as he lands a good lick, and then Groves from the space of centre ring, went looking for him.
Low, walked onto that shot. Better boxer.
He will be entering the realm where highly anticipated from Eubank, who's being touched up by under a wide-legged stance, and he swings for the fences, and his own momentum carrying Eubank's face, a crimson mask behind that flow of blood down his right cheek. Now he's swinging away, and he would have anticipated. Instead, it's George Groves, but Eubank still swinging away, pinning Groves to the ropes, targeting the body, targeting him, and now he's on the front foot as you take a breather and see.
He hasn't really used any boxing.
Well, he said that he wants this, and waving his man on, sensing that Eubank is there for the taking. Remember, Eubank putting so much onto these shots, and now he's getting touched up in the corner once again. The two men on our scorecards here ringside. He's going in with a big lead left hook again and nudging on his way so far tonight.
We have seen signs, but it's not happening.
A contest at this type of left hook, but surely Eubank needs to test the chin and conditioning of Groves. He
just leans on, nullifying his work, not allowing him to swing away. Can he find the shot here now?
Back in round number 3, wound up with and walked onto a shot from Groves, hand of his own, catching the shaven-headed figure and driving him back to the ropes. Eubank is desperately tired, but
needs it. Sitting on the back foot, you've got to get him forward, exchanging. That would be dangerous.
Eubank is incredibly weary, because surely that's what he needs now. Closing seconds of the 11th rotation on the swings of Chris Eubank Jr. Semi-final of the World Boxing Super in the biggest fight of his career, by a country mile on the scorecards. He knows that. Surely Chris Eubank and his corner. Eubank is putting everything into these swings. Plenty of industry. Deserted him here. He remains after his man. There's a good days. Incessantly on the
he knows he's behind. Korea.
Well, Eubank can summon the put Groves out for the count. Uppercut got through, but the follow-ups didn't. Groves being put under pressure. Putting his wits about him. Hands down by his side. Of this final round. has proved to be significant to this point in the contest. He's proved to be the better ring general. Eubank it on. Accuracy, not what it needs to be. Good right uppercut from Groves. Fighting out of the corner. Still becoming increasingly weary under pressure from Eubank. He's tagged by a right hook. Groves fighting back flat-footed. Lands with a right hand of his own. He's bringing uppercuts into play. Blood on the lens here at the Manchester Arena. Toe-to-toe exchanges.
Bomb from Eubank needed a great laugh. He's
Big
done really
right
well.
hand. Groves though standing his ground and he wilts after taking a left. And now Eubank takes off in final round. And the bell concludes.
And is now the IBO and WBA Super Middleweight Super Champion